It's Bourbon Night. Hello. Turn down that other audio. There we go. That's better. How's everyone doing? Welcome in.
Happy Sunday.
Yeah, happy Sunday.
Thanks for joining us.
Everything is good here.
Chad's checking all his things. We have a guest tonight.
We do.
That's very exciting.
We do.
We'll bring him on in just a moment.
He's in the green room right now and enjoying only red M&Ms that was in his rider. Can only be red M&Ms. Very weird. You know, these guests, they have these demands. It's very odd. But no, we're going to be drinking on some Foregate tonight. If you follow us closely, you know that Foregate is a company that we're becoming more and more familiar with after, I guess it was the 2020.
Yes.
Blanking on the name.
Best of the year.
There you go.
That's the one.
2020 best of the year. 2020 was such an
that little episode, no big deal.
Such an odd year that I was just like,
time has no meaning
what
anymore.
Do you call time's a flat circle? Yeah.
Yeah, we had heard about it in early 2020, and so we sought out a bottle, and we were like, well, this is really good. We put it in our best of the year, and surprise! I mean, if you haven't seen it, by now, there's no spoiler.
The Kelvin collaboration batch 2. I think we got to give credit where credit's due to Fred
Minnick is how we heard about it.
Yeah, Fred was talking about how it was good, so we're like, well, we will. If Fred likes it, maybe it's worth checking out.
So we got a bottle and we put it in the best of, and
we did.
Spoiler, but if you haven't seen it 2 years later, then that's on you. It came in second.
Came in second overall.
To William Louis Weller, which is like insane.
Blind, and it was our best Finnish whiskey.
Yeah.
Number one Finnish whiskey of 2020.
And it also did quite well last year. We put more than one bottle in last year.
Yeah, it was, I can't remember where it placed.
It was delicious.
Top 15, I know for sure. It may have even been closer to top 10.
2 of them were in the top 15.
Oh, that's right. We also had the trilogy. Yeah,
Yes.
I know between the 2, the Kelvin Collab 3 was over the trilogy by a little bit. But yeah. Both did well. I swear I haven't had a thing to drink today.
I don't know. I haven't
Maybe
seen
that's
much
the problem.
Today.
Maybe that's the problem.
Maybe that is the problem.
So
let's bring him in to tell us more about it.
Yes, from Foregate, the chief barrel officer.
Chief barrel
officer. I mean, that's something that I don't normally say, but I guess here in the whiskey world, it's something you say more. It's like CFOs, CEO.
CBO.
Yeah, chief barrel officer from Foregate. Let's bring him in. Please welcome Bob. Bring him in. There you are, Bob.
He's still on mute.
No, I thought I unmuted him. Now you're unmuted. Welcome.
Okay. Yeah, good evening. Yes. Good to see you guys.
Thanks for joining us.
Likewise, yeah.
To hang out.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
We're excited to try some of the stuff you sent us.
Yeah, it's going to be a good treat for you guys to try it, and I get to hear your immediate feedback with all the listeners as well.
So this is stuff that is yet to hit the market, correct?
That's correct.
So all inside stuff
here.
The
first 3 that we're going to taste, we bottled all of them last week on Monday and Tuesday at Bardstown Bourbon.
Oh, that's exciting.
Nice.
So they can expect to see these soon out in the market.
Yes, the first one will be in the market in the next week or 2. And then the second one that we're tasting, which is the Kelvin Collaboration 4, that release date is the April 5th, Tuesday, April the 5th. We release that one for Derby every year.
Writes that down in my calendar.
Okay.
Good to know. I did not know that.
Yeah.
That was the release schedule.
Bob, I'm going to put you on the other side of the screen. Hold on one second. I'm going to bring you back in.
Okay.
On the left. There we go. Now you're closer to the lens.
Oh, okay. That I see. I was like, why are you so particular all of a sudden, Chad?
I have my...
I will go ahead and pour the first sample, which is marked SC.
SC. Can you tell us about SC? Decode that.
SC is, we named that one Saint Charon. So, this is 7-year-old whiskey, 75, 21, and 4, that we finished in cognac cask.
Say no more.
If you're familiar with cognac, the village, the Charon River runs through Cognac, France. So we named it. All the little villages are all over France are Saint something. So I came up with that name and named it Saint Charon for the cognac cask that we finished this 7-year-old whiskey in. So this Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, 7 years old.
And what's the proof on this guy?
This one is 119.2.
Okay.
It smells incredible.
Here's the bottle, if you can see that.
Nice.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to place some nosing notes.
I was going in for the kill already.
Oh, do it.
No, I mean, yeah, it's a pretty classic, Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey nose.
But it's really rich.
It is very rich.
I get some like rich fruit, ripe fruit, and
kind of like a hard candy caramel. Also,
I was gonna say like very deep caramels, like it's enhanced, and I think that's from the cognac.
An
enhanced caramel. We do have our little 4-gate.
Yeah, we have our 4-gate glasses.
I should have worn my 4-gate hat.
There.
I blew it. Oh well.
All right.
Cheers.
Cheers to you.
Yes.
Okay. Woo. Got a little heat there in the beginning.
I mean, it tastes like a really good, it tastes like a lot of things, but that feeling of when you have like a really good, like you said, like a really good caramel that like melts in your mouth. Mm-hmm. That feeling of how it coats your tongue.
Yeah.
And it goes straight in for the warmth.
It's going pretty quick to a Kentucky hug. Already down here in the chest. That's nice.
I think it's delightful.
Good. Guess we can bring. I mean, a lot of your bottles, the labels are similar. It's what's down there at the bottom that changes. So, like, here's our beloved Kelvin 2. Again, that was our best finished whiskey of 2020. But some people might not know like where the name 4-Gate came from, and how it ties to this picture here on the front of the bottle. So, if you just kind of want to take us through that to begin with.
Sure. So we named it 4-Gate. That's a slang term for the horse farm fences that have 4 boards or 4 rails. It's commonly referred to as a 4-Gate fence. So that was one of the names that I threw in the hat when we were trying to come up with a name for the whiskey company. And Bill really liked it, so then we went to work on creating that image. And that oval picture there, Chad, is that's a spring house that's a couple 100 years old that I took that picture, and then unfortunately it didn't have a 4-Gate fence in front of it, so we kind of photoshopped that in. And then if you look below it where it says Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, Sarah, you can see we have like a watermark of the 4-Gate fence there.
Yeah.
And that wraps around to the back of the bottle too, on the back label. And you can see that where that 4-Gate fence wraps around the back. And then also too, as you're looking at that, if you turn that bottle sideways, the tax stamp is a 4-Gate fence on the neck there.
I've never noticed that before.
The things you don't notice until you're told to look at it.
If you look right there at the last gate, going into where you would open it, you can see we put the horizontal board there as you're opening the fence like you would. That's where it always has the slat on it to reinforce it where you open it. So we did that as well.
Huh.
Very cool.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
So that's why we came up with the name. And then Bill and I, we were trying to get somebody to design the logo for us. And I was working with the labeling company, and they sent me back a couple of different ones. And I'm like, I'm going to just do it myself. And so that round 4-Gate logo I did in my office. And I grabbed one of my son's CDs, and I did about 100 different lines on it to make it totally symmetrical to come up with that FGWC in that round logo. That's on the sub label. That's on the top of the tax stamp as well, and then it's on the back label too. Oh yes, yes, on the sticker on the bottles I gave you guys.
Hide your face, Sarah.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get it to focus now. Yeah. Come on, camera, you can do it. You can do it. I
All
believe in you.
They saw it.
Yeah.
The camera really wants to focus on faces, which is good. because that's 99% what we want in focus. But
can you blame it? No, I'm just kidding.
With a face like this.
Oh.
Hey, we have our first super chat of the evening. It comes from Tammy Brennicky.
Thanks,
Says,
Tammy.
love me some 4-Gate exceptional whiskey. Heart.
Yes.
Cheers, heart.
Yeah, we have some people in the chat who are patrons of ours who got to have our pick from last year. Well, now I'm blanking on words. I am talking about this one.
Yeah.
Our toasted rye pick. And it's got its little reputation now.
Yeah. It's
that was a good bottle.
That was a good.
It is a good bottle, yeah. And no spoilers or anything, but just saying there might be another It's Bourbon Night 4-Gate collaboration in the future. Just saying, I don't know.
Just
I don't know.
A 2022 pick? I mean, who would ever think? Who would ever think it would repeat itself?
I don't know. It's like. So I'm really loving this. You said the proof, and if I don't write it down, I forgot.
119.
119.
119.
It's really got a nice little settling in the chest warmthness, but it's not. The first sip. Of course, it was the first sip of whiskey of the day for me. I promise. And 119. You got to let that acclimate. But that second sip and on, it's really actually been pretty. As I say, smooth. What does that even mean? But it's nice and easy. Pretty approachable for 119 proof. Still being with a lot of complexity, I feel like.
Yeah, I feel like the cognac is bringing that complexity, but also is like, sometimes when people say smooth, I just interpret that as the absence of harshness.
Absence of burn, yeah.
Yeah, so there's an absence of harshness that people like. They don't want to feel that. And I feel like you can get that a lot of times with a finishing, or a finished product, is that it adds its own flavors and complexities, but it also kind of, if there was any bite or anything, it really just polishes it up. And I feel like this one is really nice.
Yeah. There's Ty Cooper, or AKA Hot Toddy, saying he was enjoying the IBN 4-Gate pick just last night. Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Oh, look, we got Swan in the house. Hello, Swan.
Hello. So this one's coming soon.
Yeah, that'll be out in probably 2 weeks there.
That's
probably
awesome.
A couple weeks. Yeah.
I want one.
You have a sample?
Get it.
You have a sample?
Get it for me.
So Bob, talk real quick about your distribution, because we've got people from all over the United States and all over the world.
Some from international.
Yeah. Kind of talk about your reach.
Yeah, sure. Well, and I'll talk about the reach of your single barrel pick first, and that was available through It's Bourbon Night through Sealbox. That we kind of collaborated and negotiated that deal with Sarah and Chad, and so obviously we sell through Sealbox, and the other online is Bourbon Outfitter, who's based out of Lexington and DC. That's part of Justin's House of Bourbon and the Bourbon Review and GoBourbon.com, and then the third one is an affiliate of Bourbon Outfitter, is Caskers. So Caskers sells our product as well online. Caskers is more of an e-commerce site where they do not own the bottles that they sell. They have agreements with people that own the bottles and represent that product for the people that own them. So when you order from Caskers, they're basically generating a pick ticket back for that bottle, whoever has sponsored that bottle or that they've contracted that bottle with. And in our case, all those bottles are being sold by Bourbon Outfitter. And then on the regular distribution, we utilize Republic, and we're growing with those guys still. We're with Republic in Kentucky, Georgia, Indiana, Louisiana, and Texas. And we are in the process of getting in to one of their new markets. Republic will go live in the state of Illinois April the 1st, and we're in the process of getting our license there right now. And then our only distributor that we're not using state right now is we were in Tennessee with Lippman Brothers. Lippman Brothers is in Tennessee is a franchise state, so RNDC is not there. So we work with Lippman Brothers out of Nashville. That's our reach right now. Like I said, we're doing all the paperwork right now to get into Illinois, and
that's awesome.
Yeah, well, thank you. And it looks like Colorado is going to be next on the list for.
We had somebody in the chat just
Colorado.
ask about Colorado.
Yeah. Colorado? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so
They said, when will it be in Colorado?
Soon. I would say mid to late spring. So, somewhere April to June timeframe. We hope to be in Colorado and get our license.
Okay. Nice.
Very exciting.
Well,
yeah.
I'm empty,
so... The excitement with RNDC, with Republic National is really great. Those guys have been fantastic for us as a distributor, and they pointed out the next, 4 to 6 states that they would like us to go to and make sure that we have the juice to scale it. And Bill and I were able to secure that juice back at the beginning of December through a couple of good friends of mine.
Nice.
That's great.
So I put up.
So what are you pouring up now?
Well, this is the Kelvin collaboration 4. The this mini. I brought up the 2 and the 3. I wish we had the 1.
But
we hadn't got.
We didn't learn about.
Yeah,
we didn't know about it until the 2 was out.
That's
so
right. Yeah.
We got the 2, and then we will get every Kelvin collab that follows.
We'll definitely get the 4.
We can talk offline. I got a couple of bottles about 3 weeks ago that a friend found. I don't know how he found them, but I got them. They were a little bit over regular retail, but nothing crazy. So if you Chad, I've got one left. I've sold 2 of the other 3 I got. If you guys want one, I'm happy to pass it on to you with what
put me down for it. Yep.
Fired it with. And the next time I see you, I'll get it to you. I'll put your name
deals.
on it.
What a kind offer.
Making deals
Thank
happen
you.
here, folks.
And
Chad's also.
Right here online.
Did I send you a sample of one yet or not? I told you I'd send you a sample. Did I send
No.
you one or not? You know what? If
I pulled.
If I didn't, that's my fault. I'll get you out of 50 or 100 ml so that you guys can taste it. And then if you want this bottle, I'll get it to you. So let me just say this on this. Where Tad raises, 4. This is the Kelvin 4 for 4 ones, if I can get that in there the right way.
There it is.
And it goes
we were wondering about that.
Ones. And I did that for Kevin McLaughlin, who has since passed away from Kelvin Cooperage, that as I know you guys know, and probably most of your listeners, Kevin was a big Rolex guy. And if you know about Rolex watches, on the date watches, the number 4 is always written out as 4 ones. And not
I did not
IV.
know that.
Okay.
And so kind of a tribute to him. He was a big Rolex guy. I've always had one since about the mid 80s. I think Kevin always had like 3 or 4. So it was that kind of a tribute to him. And I told his brother that we were going to do it. Paul, that runs the Cooperage now, obviously, him and William Hornaday. And they're like, that's a nice little tribute to Kevin as well. So let me get into this and tell you what's going on here. This one's a little bit more convoluted than most of the things that we've done. So this is this Kelvin Collaboration 4. We did some 6 and 7 year old Kentucky. Both of the whiskeys were from the same distillery. Both of them the same mash bill, 75, 21, and 4. And then we took some of our 8-year-old 95.5 rye whiskey from Indiana, and we finished a blend of that in Australian tiny port cask. Then we had some 9-year-old Indiana bourbon that was 75, 21, and 4. And we finished that in dark rum cask from Barbados. And we had 3 dark rum casks that we finished the 9-year-old in. Once everything was finished, we started blending these back 25, 75, 60, 40, 45, 55. And Bill and I agreed on 45% of the tawny juice, which was the 6 and 7 year old bourbon and the rye, and then 55% of the 9-year-old bourbon finished in dark rum cask, and we blended it back together 55%. That's how we came up with the Kelvin collaboration for it. And the label reads, let me read the label to you. It says it's a blend of straight bourbon and straight rye whiskeys, finished in Australian tawny port and Barbadian dark rum cask.
Okay.
And this one, I've got to pull this up. I sent you that pic earlier of the bottling line with the labels, but let me just pull that up for you so I give you the correct proof.
That's what I was going to ask. What's the proof? Because I'm getting like some nice warmth on this, and I was wondering.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is 111.7, and I'll tell you why it's so low. The 9-year-old cask that we dumped to get the 55% of the blend, Sarah, was that proof on the 9-year-old was 103.2. So that's what brought it down from the 6 and 7 year old bourbon. Of course, the rye's a little bit lower, anyways. That was in those tiny casks, but that's what we did. A little convoluted of a blend there, so it takes a little bit longer to explain to your listeners what we did.
Yeah.
So I was just real quick question. I was looking at our 2 and our 3, and the 2 is a cognac and the 3 is the PX sherry. But both of them have the rum, and you said this fourth has rum been a rum cask? Has that been in all 4 of the Kelvin collaborations so far?
Which explains why I love it so much. Yeah. I love a rum cask finish, but it's so nice with the other flavors.
Yeah, and that Kelvin one was sherry rum cask, and that was our 11-year-old, 11-and-a-half-year-old that we finished in the sherry rum cask. So Bill and I've kept that consistent all the way through.
Definitely want a bottle of that
one. If you had asked me to guess the proof on this, though, I feel like, I think it drinks like what I wouldn't have noticed the difference between the first one and the second one as far as like it being 119. I wouldn't even think about it as low because I just think the experience overall is really nice with all the flavors from the different finishes, and like it just gave me a Kentucky hug right away, and I really liked it.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to pour a little bit of our favorite number 2 here.
Oh, you're going to compare?
I'm going to do a little right here on live.
How rude.
A little side by side.
Side by side.
He just wants an excuse to drink that. Is what it is. It's what he wants.
Hey,
well,
he came in with a fresh palate tonight, so that's
right.
That's good.
Yeah, a little sploosh more.
I really like that. I'm not going to say no.
Okay.
That's good.
Just a wee nip. I also got our next super chat here. This one's from Michelle Martin. Bring it up here on screen. Hold on, let me take away this.
She said, always love to hear about Foregate, such great whiskey. Looking forward to the next Foregate Bourbonnight pick. Thanks, Michelle.
Well.
Michelle is a patron and will be able to get that if she wants it.
You've heard about that, huh?
Yeah.
Can we say that you've isolated
that
down to her for her or no?
What did you say?
I said, can you say what you isolated that down, Chad, when you sent me that text a couple of weeks back on what on the barrel of the barrels that are available, which one that you want to get your selection from? I don't know if you want to say that or not. Maybe
you know what, we can. No.
We want to. We just didn't want to.
This will be a exclusive.
Surprise you with that. I know you know from us, but in front of them. We didn't want to throw you under the bus in any way.
Because I don't think we've even told Patreon yet.
We've already got one set aside for you. Matter of fact, I just picked up. I'm waiting to get some more of the samples of some of our other juice that's at BBC right now. We're waiting on 20 other barrel samples, and once we get those, we will start firing them out to you guys.
Amazing.
Well,
this just in.
World
you
exclusive.
Heard it here first.
Yeah, you heard it here first. So, our first pick, again, to remind people, was a 95.5 toasted rye. This year, we are going with a Kentucky bourbon. Yes. Well, it'll also be, toasted and all that jazz. So.
Right, and we have two different 7-year-olds. I don't know which one you'll pick, but one of them's 75, 21 and 4. The other one's 75, 20 and 5. So both Kentucky.
So it's a 7-year-old Kentucky bourbon.
Both of them are 7-year-old, and both of them are on the Bourbon Trail. And you've drank them both frequently, I'm sure.
So we shall choose. This is very exciting.
Yeah,
for me.
Can't wait to do that pick.
And then of course we're going to toast it again. Sarah, we'll toast it again for you guys too, of course.
Yeah. Can't wait. I'm very excited about that. So now, our toasted rye, that was also 7 years old. That's right?
That was an 8-year-old rye.
8-year-old, that's right. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. But I love, the toasting and the mingling together and the other finishes that you all do. It's one thing to source whiskey and then just put it in the bottle, but it's another thing to transform it and to mingle it and marry it together. It's
a reflection of your vision
to make the sum greater than the parts. I think that's what we always appreciate. But I'm getting ready to try this against 2 against 4. Here we go. Sure.
Give me.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, I'd forgotten how good 2 is. Wow.
Oh.
Something special about that too. Wow.
They're both really good. I mean, they're different. Mm-hmm. They're different finishes, so they're not.
Oh, that is close. We got a contender here. Ooh. I don't know. Maybe more research is needed. I'm not sure.
I think they're just different, They're both really good in their own way. Like, they have their own things going for them.
Well,
I don't know if I could choose.
To remind people, the 2 is 126.4. This 4, as you can see there on the screen, 111.7.
So Chad's fighting the inner proof hound.
Yeah, but going back and forth, I'm not sensing like a huge difference,
I agree. That's what I meant. I think that, like, even though, the 4 is 111.7, I think it tastes, or like when I experienced it, it felt like higher proof. And proof isn't everything. I think it's the experience of it, right? That matters. So I like them both. I haven't had anything here tonight that I wouldn't put in my best of.
There you go.
So just saying. Just throwing that out there.
I like those together. I don't know. Yeah. More research.
More research is needed,
More
Chad
research
says.
needed. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I can drink that one all day. And I know it's our product or mine and Bill's product, but that 4, that proof level, and especially you're going to taste the next one, which is the rum side of it that I just said was what was it, 103.2. We're tasting that next because that's batch 20, and you're going to really find out where that is by itself before we blended it, Sarah. And if you like something that's a little bit lower proof, that's barrel proof and finished. I think some of the people that don't like those really, really high proofs, I mean, I'd rather it be, 115 to 125 or whatever. But the people like the lower proof, that's still barrel proof, I think they're going to really like this next one. I'm really anxious to see what you guys have to say about it.
I'm excited.
So this next one is the 4x4, is that right?
That's correct.
Okay.
4x4.
So that one's pretty easy. Let me grab the bottle here. So this is the mock-up. We didn't get one off the line yet. I'm supposed to be getting our sample bottles tomorrow, but this is Dearborn County straight bourbon whiskey, finished in Barbadian dark rum cask. So, there's a rum distillery in Barbados that just happens to have the same first name as us. If I can get that in the right place for you.
It's the opposite way you want to go.
I know, it's so hard. I do the same thing. It's the mirroring.
Yeah.
There you
nice. Aged a minimum of 9 years. Okay.
9 years, yeah. So, and this one is, what did I say that was? Yeah, it's 103.2. So this is going to get you in trouble.
I see what you're saying, because the proof is so approachable. And it's just like you could easily keep going back to it. I mean, I have to say, though, on the Kelvin 4, I don't normally get seconds anymore, like, because I've been cutting back on my drinking, so, like, I don't normally get seconds on lives when we film, but Chad was like, do you want some more? I was like, yes, please. Yeah. Fill this up for me.
Good. So
103.2, okay.
On this one, we dumped 15 barrels on this, of this 9-year-old, to come up with this batch and figure out we were going to use some of it in the Kelvin 4, obviously. The 15 barrels, we had barrel samples of all of them before we blended it. The 15 barrels range from 89 proof to a high of 106.
Wow.
And I should also say, I don't know how many years out of the 9-year life they were aged in California, but when we bought them, they were in California, and we brought them back to Midway, Kentucky, to our rick house there, where we leased space from a friend of mine. And then once they were there, then we brought them into Bardstown to do this blend.
There's something very, nice and light and kind of airy.
It is light, like, and I feel like you get the sweetness from the rum finish on the front, and then, but I think the nice thing is, like, even at that 103, towards the finish, you get some more, I mean, I want to say spicy, but I guess it's kind of like a pepper, it's like a rich peppery, and that oak, comes through, then I think it's nice.
So that's a little drier than the last one, I feel like. Not dry in like a bad way, but
I mean,
drier.
I think maybe like on the finish, maybe like I'm getting more of that oak and a little bit of pepper. I see what you're saying. Maybe a little bit of tannins. I don't know. Just to throw out a fun word.
It's also more
very
sort
nice.
of. Gotta think about this one. There's a little bit of a. There's a tropical something sort of floating
I think that's that rum, though.
in the middle. Yeah, almost like a melon or a little bit of a tiki vibe.
I mean, I feel like I normally get that from rum stuff.
Yeah,
like rum finish things. That islandy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to catch up on some super chats here. Let me hide that info. And from Ben Davis here says, love what you folks do. Keep it and the short reviews format's going. Well, thank you much.
He likes the rapid reviews.
The rapid reviews. Thank you much,
Thanks, Ben.
Appreciate that. Yeah. And Sean Dobbins here. So speaking of proof, tried my first hazmat on Friday, an older Elijah Craig barrel proof, and it was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yes, those, that would have been the old pirate bottle. Like batch 2 or 3. Like, wow.
An oldie.
That's an oldie but a goodie. We'll make sure.
Thank you. I think that was it.
Yeah,
we should. We said that.
Just make sure we got caught up there.
So what do you think about this one, Bob?
I like this a lot. I wanted to share with you the finishing cask. So we got 2. Rum barrels are typically ex-bourbon. So we've got we got 3 of the rye barrels. I mean, of the rum barrels. 2 of them, and they were all ex-bourbon. So 2 of them that we got first had held 22-year-old rum, and they had held the rum from 8 years to 22, so about 14 years. Then the third cask that we got from the same rum distillery, it held the rum from 6 to 9 years old, and that cask was a 9-year-old rum. So those were the 3 that we finished our 9-year-old Indiana bourbon in. And no, Bill and I like the way it turned out. We wanted to release it as it is. before we blended in with that with the tawny, with the bourbon and the rye from the tawny barrels. So.
Okay.
I really like this. This is super smooth and easy to drink.
I feel like this,
even though it's barrel proof.
Yeah, if if we were doing like a 4-gate night, which we are tonight, I feel like I would start with this one, not just because I can see that it's 103.2 proof, but it, just sort of that, as we're saying, the rum influence, the lighter side, the really easy. I think on a fresh palate, you would even appreciate this more because, to remind everyone, I was comparing a 126.4 proof against the Kelvin 4 just mere moments before tasting this one. So I feel like this would be a amazing start to the night.
Yeah.
And then you
could honestly
step
have
up
a
even
few
more.
and then step up.
Yeah.
So now, Chad, you've given me ideas because I always like the idea of like, I think these are also super interesting where they do have the finishes. I love the idea of like pairing with food. And, I like to daydream about dinner parties and doing food pairings like with multiple courses. And like I do think about like the 4-gate bottles being an amazing, one to do that with if you had a group of people. Each bring a bottle or something. Or the other brand I think about normally when I think about this is Bardstown Bourbon Company because they do experimental finishes too. So I think both of you all like, that would be an amazing dinner party.
I don't know why,
it would be epic.
But with this one, and I'm no food critic by any means, but I'm picturing something with some pineapple in it. Maybe it's on top. Maybe like a ham, like a pig on a spit. With some ham there, and
I kind of see what you're saying though, like
pineapple.
Something that maybe plays off of that, where that rum tends to tug at those like island flavors, but also because rum is also on the sweeter side, maybe you want something savory to counterbalance it, so it's not just sweet. Like, I feel like everybody just wants to put whiskey with chocolate. And it is good.
It is good.
But I think it can be, there's more opportunity.
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think, Bob? You want to put a pig on the spit and have some of this with it? Let's get some pineapple chopped up.
No, I like it. I mean, this is just so easy to drink. But yeah, like what you said, this is definitely something you want to start the early of the night in. As you work to those higher proofs, it makes it a little bit easier.
We do want to recognize our mods that are in the chat who are doing an excellent job of.
There's more bots tonight than there are normally, so thank you all.
But there's some things.
We appreciate it.
Some things going on, but taken care of in good hands. There's a lot of blue wrenches in here tonight, so
there are.
Yeah, that's great.
Also, Chad, I would like to count the number of episodes where you don't mention a cut of meat.
Well, Cameron says Chad's been waiting to say ham all night.
Chad is always throwing out like barbecue or steak or something like that. In every episode, it tastes like it or it makes him want to drink this while he eats a steak or it's always a cut of meat in the conversation with him.
I swear we had dinner right before this. So
I feed him, I promise.
Yeah, I don't know. But, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe that's just in my future to like pair bourbons with some meats. I don't know.
Go for it.
I would love to.
I support you.
Good. Another super chat here from Joey Tony Bag of Donuts saying, Sarah, invite me to dinner. I'll bring the Bardstown, you bring the 4-gate.
Fair enough.
Okay.
I feel like I need to make this like an actual dinner thing. Is there a local chef who's watching who wants to collaborate? No. We'll see. Maybe one day.
I know of a good all animal butcher shop in Louisville.
Oh, yeah.
Be a good place.
I think it's called
Red Hog, yeah. We love Red Hog.
Red Hog's great.
We had a private dinner there, a year or two ago, and it was amazing. We had never been there before, and it was great.
Yeah. Even sent us home with some of their homemade jerky,
like summer
basically.
sausage.
Summer sausage jerky.
It was amazing.
Yeah, really good.
They do a good job up there. I just went back to all three, and I was like, which one's my favorite? And I was like, I don't know. I'd have to go through again, because I don't know.
I have not been keeping any in my glass.
That's too bad for you.
Whoops.
Seems like a rookie mistake.
Whoopsies. No, there's Ben. Red Hog for the win. Yeah.
Something about me is just always like, I just love the Kelvin series so much. Something about me is always going to be Me and the Kelvin series are always just going to be like this. I think it's just my number one.
Yeah, whatever you guys are doing with the Kelvin collaboration. That's why we're so interested in one, so we can, collect them all, have the whole set. And,
it does.
And then we could do a flight fight.
Collector mindset.
We could have all four and do a blind flight and see what's what.
I'll get it to you. By the way, while we're live, and not that maybe I shouldn't do it, but I'm going to do it anyways. Like our Christmas party that Bill and I invited you guys to, we're gonna have an anniversary party from our very first release was April 19th of 2019. So we're gonna have a party this year celebrating the 3-year anniversary of our first release with the Kelvin Collaboration 4 on Tuesday, April the 19th. At Watch Hill Proper, which is a new bourbon club in Louisville.
Yep.
A really good friend of mine owns it, Josh House. And and so we'd like for you guys to come by and come into town on that Tuesday and have a couple pours with us at Watch Hill Proper. And
let me just add that to my calendar.
Can we bring our 242 friends?
If you can fit us in on a Tuesday, I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's no problem. Tuesday's no problem. Yeah. We're actually taking a group of patrons to Watch Hill Proper at the end of next month, actually, for a little preview of things. So
I was out there last Sunday, walking through the build out with Josh. It looks amazing.
We're really excited. We've only seen the renderings, so we can't wait.
Can't wait. We have a very large and very nice super chat here from Kevin.
Kevin said,
saying fund for Chad's steak. Kevin, that is a nice steak.
That is a nice steak.
We need to get something in our glass, and we will properly cheers you and all the other super chats for tonight. Thank you so much, Kevin. That's greatly appreciated.
Bob, if you have some time, we could do one more if you want.
Sure, I definitely do. Let me see.
So we have the 3 samples left. You can choose which one you want us to have.
Look at the one that I want to. Why don't we do? Why don't we do a straight rye if that's good, and do the one that's the PPP, which stands for Port Peri Peri.
Oh, okay.
I'll grab that bottle off my shelf. This is just a mocked up label. It's been approved by the TTB, but I can show you the label here.
Okay,
so
Port
aged
Peri
a minimum
Peri.
of 8 years. It's straight rye whiskey, finished in Australian tiny port cask. So the same tiny port casks that we had in the that finished the ones in the Kelvin. These are different tonies that we got from Kelvin Cooperage. They brought in a whole ocean container from Australia of the tiny port and the Parasherry, and we bought them several different times from them. And this one we finished the rye whiskey in there, and I named this one for a couple people that helped me out and bill out with Foregate. I'm trying to see if I can get this. I know it's got to go.
Just close your eyes and it'll be easier.
Right.
What's the proof on that? 109.7?
8?
Or
Well,
I can't see.
Yeah, but that was just for the TTB. It
I
hasn't
see.
really been proofed out yet. You just got to give them numbers when you send the label in. But it's the straight rye, so it's probably around there. Our other ryes that we did, like your rye, your single barrel rye, I think they were all around 110 or 112. So I would say the proof's probably about there. Let me just check this one.
About 110.
About 110.
I'm gonna say about 110 or 112. I think that would be a fair guess. Like Ruby Rye Springs or Split Stave rye, your single barrel was about there. And so this was finished in Australian tiny port cask. So the 8-year-old MGP 95.5, and then we finished.
Okay. You definitely get the rye. Like, it's very classic, like 95.5 rye, but the port changes things, and that's why I love like these finishing projects, especially. I mean, I love them all with bourbon too, but the rye, for me, the most interesting things happen. And I also don't normally love port, but I really like when you marry the rye with the port because I think they bring out the best in each other somehow.
Yes.
And the other thing I love is that I don't think each of these are unique. Like, while they may have some of the same base elements or finishing elements, they're all different, right?
Yeah.
I love that.
Let me get that off the screen and get our current super chat, which is from Old Man Crypto.
You said for the bourbon butter on the steak.
Nice. So this is for...
Thank you.
Yes.
Also, I feel like that's a realistic price that they would charge for bourbon butter at a restaurant.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Oh, dang. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you, Sarah. Like, originally...
Oh no.
Amber alert.
Amber alert.
Everybody got the same one.
Yeah, that was in unison.
I think, anyone in Kentucky probably just got that.
Louisville, Kentucky.
Yeah.
Yep.
So sorry about the Amber alert, you guys, but now everybody across, whoever's watching, now you all know.
Yeah. Looking for a maroon Ford F-150 with severe front end damage. So if you're in the Louisville, Kentucky area.
If you see something, say something.
Say something. Oh, yeah, I was saying, like in the beginning, when we were getting into bourbon, we thought we didn't like port finishes.
Right.
It turned out it was just a particular type of port finish, and we've discovered others that we've actually really enjoyed. So I think it's all in just how it's
I definitely think tawny port
handled.
is, because we've had a few that are tawny port, and I think that is in the, we like it.
Yeah, it's actually gone the other way, and we're like, we actually really sometimes love port finish.
Sure, I think it's just about...
But as you said, like with the rye, I think the rye is more this. I mean, everything we've had tonight has been very good, but something about this has really sort of stood up in my mind, and now I'm taking notice. I've got this PPP loan.
And also think it might have something to do with where the casks are, what Kelvin's securing for us and bringing into Louisville, and we're buying those casks. I mean, if somebody has a lower quality finishing cask, and they may not be using the same level of juice we're using either. This is 8-year-old rye. I mean, you had this rye in your single barrel pick. We put this blend in this tonic. So, I mean, we're not trying to cut corners on anything that we do. And, we had those Australian tonic, and we had this, and we were using them in different ways. And we're like, we ought to finish some rye whiskey in this, and this is what you have.
But what's crazy is like the same base as our pick, and yet they're so different.
So different, yes.
And so both equally, I mean, delicious in their own ways, right? I just love that, how it really does transform it.
Mm-hmm. Bob, do you find that port can sometimes make the whiskey a little drier? Because I was just thinking, like, between like our toasted rye and this port finish, maybe it's a little bit drier on the finish. I don't know if that's a characteristic of port.
Port wine?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's a little shorter and drier.
I think some wines are just...
It doesn't hit you. I don't think it hits you all the way down the throat and the chest. Do you?
Right, yeah. But I'm loving the 95.5 of it all, and then how it's playing with that port. And that a dry finish can sometimes be a killer for me, but it has to really be dry, which this isn't. It's just drier. Mm-hmm. Because when you brought up our pick of the 95 that's in the finish in the toasted, I started kind of comparing them in my mind, and I'm like, this might be a little bit drier than that one.
Well, I think it's a combination of where it's rye and it's the finish is closing on those those pepper baking spice notes, and then you also have the wine too. That some wine finishes just wine is sometimes classified as dry.
Yeah.
Maybe like those two things together are giving you a little bit of that. I think, man, the flavor on this.
You know what this would go good with?
Is it a steak?
It's a steak. Yes, it would go good with a steak. Nice char on a steak.
Oh, that leads me to a good question. Bob, have you ever had one of these?
Night.
Oh, did you?
Yes.
It's a good cut. Have you found...
I wanted to add one comment real quick. And I think you guys have had them where we had our, we released the, when we first bought this rye whiskey, we released it as a straight rye, 7 years old. And we told everybody we were going to finish it several different ways, which we did. We did the split stave rye. We did the ruby port rum cask rye. And we had those different finishes. And Bill, my partner, said, let's tell them that we're going to finish it different ways so they would buy it. Then we knew that we were going to release it as an 8-year-old. Then we've got to finish this way. We're using it in some other products as well. And then, we hope to finish it maybe as a 9-year-old, have the 9-year-old come out later this spring straight, and then maybe finish it like we did last year, finish the 9-year-old in some of the French oak split stave barrels.
That sounds good.
That's kind of in the background of our thought process. Can you guys give me just 1 second? My computers are not ready to crash. I just need to grab some power for it.
No problem.
No problem. We'll just
We'll wait till he comes back.
Solo on us here.
I was going to ask if there was, because we were talking about food and and then I had been talking about pairings, and who better to ask than the person behind all these bottles, if he's got one of his releases that have come out that he's like found a pairing that's magical. Like he was mentioned his ribeye, so I kind of want to know, is there like anytime he's having blank food, he wants X bottle of Foregate because it goes so well together.
Maybe that's our job to find out, Sarah. I wouldn't mind taking that.
I mean, I don't mind that homework. That's not bad homework.
Yeah.
I just was curious what his experience had been because he's obviously had all of them.
Yeah.
So I think when he comes back, I might ask him.
Yeah. We also got a good question here that we can ask Bob as well. Yeah.
What did he say? Oh.
Okay.
Good question.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that.
Okay, no problem. Welcome back. All powered up here.
Yeah.
Okay, let me do...
It was going red zone.
Uh-oh. Yeah, don't want that.
We don't want that.
Don't want that. So we have a question here from Timberline. He says, is there a period of time that you have to adhere to when using used barrels like what you're talking about tonight? Can they dry out too much? Really liking tonight's content. Well,
thank you. Glad you like it.
So from what I understand, you have to use a barrel pretty quickly after it's dumped, right? Because you want it to still kind of be wet. Is that correct?
You do. I mean, like we've bought them from Kelvin before. We always want to pull the bung holes and pull the bungs and look at it, see what's in there. Like when we finished this, when we bought these Oloroso sherry casks from them about a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago, we went to Kelvin Cooper's and we're like, okay, well, let's look at them. And they leave some of that fortified wine in there when they're shipping them overseas because they're going to be on the water for 5 to 6 weeks. And then the rail cars and all that. Well, they came into Kelvin. We bought 8 of them from them. And I bet we dumped out. I had to run to Home Depot and buy like 4 pickle buckets. We dumped out we dumped out all this sherry out of these out of these casks because they leave them in there so they don't dry out on the water. Because if they come and they're dried out, we wouldn't use them. So it's nice that they left that much in there, but we would never leave that in there. If we would have left that in there and put our whiskey in there, it would have ruined it. Totally.
Right. You don't want to take it out until right before.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got to dump all that out. I mean, maybe those were 250 liter, so 66 gallon barrels. Maybe you throw back in the equivalent of what might be like a 750 or something, but we basically empty all of them. Whatever barrels we buy, like we just filled these some Oloroso sherry rum cask last Monday at Bardstown Bourbon with some of our other 7-year-old rye that we just bought. That's a higher proof. And we found those barrels like 4 or 5 months ago. And what we were looking through, just very little residue of wetness at the bottom that you could see. You know, I'm going to say, 10 ounces maybe, just a little bit in there. If you're rolling it around, or if they rolled it around for a couple of days, it'd probably all be gone. You just have that last little bit. And then the other thing good that working with like Kelvin Cooperage for us and for the listeners to answer that question is those guys check all the bungs for us, all the hoops. They check everything out. Where we were filling our barrels at Strong Spirits, they required it to be have a bung hole in the head. So we would do another one there. Bardstown Bourbon doesn't require that. They like to do side fill, so we're okay there. But yeah, Kelvin just reinforces, make sure that the barrels are good, that the casks are good for us to fill. And so, but yeah, ideally, you want them, I would say you want to fill them as fast as you can. As soon as they dump it, you bring them into wherever you are. Make sure, check them out first. Like I'd have Kelvin Cooper check them out. And then we take them to Bardstown Bourbon and fill them.
What I want to know is, what did you do with those buckets of sherry that you dumped out?
Well, I mean, a lot of that, the Spanish sherry, it's not like the pear sherry from Australia. That is more cask seasoning sherry, where a lot of those companies from Scotland that are picking out how they want to have their cask finished, they pick the type of sherry they want to finish it, and then they have the sherry aged in those casks, and then they dump it. But that's the sherry that's like $8 and $9 for a 750 ml, where the Australian sherry is probably $25 to $35, where you can actually drink it. It's not something. What I'm telling you is you don't want it.
Oh, I see. Because I was like, did you just throw a big party or what?
Yeah,
like,
no, I hear you.
I said, did you just throw a big party? Everyone just comes and dunks their cup in the bucket. Everybody gets their...
I'll see if it's still at Kelvin. It still may be.
Oh, I'm just kidding.
I know, but you can taste it.
I just thought that'd be a fun party. Buckets full of booze,
Buckets of
you
booze.
Should taste it so you can see what I'm talking about, if it's still available. If not, I'll get it for you next time.
You're so generous. Thank you so much. You've shared a lot with us already. All the samples you've shared with us over time.
So we've got another super chat, but we don't have anything to cheers them with. Now we do have some the first round of samples that you sent us. We've got a little bit left of some of those, and I see one here. I think this is basically what is our pick minus the toasted. Yeah, so it's a straight rye whiskey 7-year-old 95.5. Well, this is actually the River Kelvin rye. Batch 7.
Kelvin rye, 8 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this 7? Oh, batch 7. Yeah.
Batch 7. Yeah.
Yeah.
Batch 7. So that was the 7-year-old. That was
pour a little bit of that.
Yeah, that's right.
You get some. I'm still working my way through.
Okay.
I got my little samples lined up. This just reminds me of Whiskey Weekend last year. Sherry Carter had all her samples. I love that.
I saw her Friday.
We hope
nice.
We're going to an event called Whiskey Weekend again next month, and that's where we met her last year, and I hope to see her again there this year.
That'd be great.
But it's just one of those events where everyone hands you a taste every 5 to 10 minutes, which is great. I love the sharing. But I guess she had gotten so many that she started to line them up in front of a little collection going in front of her. It was really cute.
We got a super chat here from Ben Davis again. Steak for Sarah too at Bourbon's Bistro.
Thank you. I do. Next time we're in Louisville, I want to go there.
Bam.
I haven't been and I want to go.
I've been. It's great. Dang, that's a good rye. That 95.5. Ooh.
So while we're on here for just a few more minutes, Bob, is there anything else you want to tell them about what's coming up or any long-term plans you have or where they can find you guys online, any of that stuff?
Yeah, we're we've got a couple other ones coming up. I think we're going to dive into and try to create a split stave bourbon for this summer and try to recreate that more than once a year, kind of a staple brand for 4-Gate whiskey. We're also looking at maybe 6 to 9 months later, say around Christmas, come out with the first staple of what would be a rye whiskey in that and become a staple as well. Kind of being, Bill and I talked about it for about the last year or 15 months, and we just had a big meeting this past Monday with the new supplier development team at Republic National. We were down at Justin's House of Bourbon, and we talked to the 3 tiers of the senior management of new supplier development, and they're interested in, as we continue to grow with them, they want some backstock in inventory. And it sounds good, but what I told them and what Bill and I were stressing to them was, if we do a large batch that's the split stave, we take off the limited release and we take off the batch and the bottle number and make it a little bit more of a regular staple. I said, I think it's all going to be gone, almost like our friends at Michter's when they release their toasted. I've never seen it on the shelf.
Yeah.
Then when they release the toasted bourbon, it's never on the shelf. So, I mean, we're going to try it for them. And they said, if it's all gone, then we want you to do another batch of X size. And so like right now, we have not had any inventory. We've been 100% depleted since like right before Christmas. And so we just bottled 4 different batches last Monday and Tuesday. The first one will be out in the next week or so. As soon as we get the bottle counts and the final case counts from BBC, which should be tomorrow or Tuesday, we'll literally be firing out the allocations to our distributors and the online folks to get that Saint Charon out, the first one we tasted, the 7-year-old finish in the cognac.
I'm just now nosing it again.
Nice.
Okay, and then
going back to it,
and then we'll roll that into April 5th, releasing the Kelvin Collaboration 4, and then we have the other ones to follow. And then we're going to have the private select cast, all the single barrels. We're doubling the size of it this summer. We're going to do 40 single barrels so that you and Republic and the state of Texas, Louisiana, we sold to some of them. I was down there in the market 2 days, a week and a half ago, Wednesday and Thursday, worked in New Orleans and Baton Rouge, and they want a lot of single barrels. So it's we've got all that coming out this summer as well. So
nice.
We can't wait.
We're really excited. Yeah. And
we do have a.
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say we had a question real quick from Nicolas saying, any more port rum finished ryes coming?
We are going to have not port and rum, but we are going to have Oloroso sherry and rum. We are right in the process now. We started finishing the first 4 barrels of a new batch of our 7-year-old MGP. It just turned 7 about 2 weeks ago. We finished it in the sherry rum cask, and we've just added. We were able to get 10 more of those sherry rum casks. We're going to finish our rye whiskey in 8 of them, and we're going to finish a blend of our bourbon in another 15 of them. And we're going to start finishing the bourbon. The other 10 casks should be in here shortly. We're filling the other 4 casks tomorrow at Bardstown Bourbon. The other ones got filled a week earlier, so they're just a week behind. But we'll have a batch of the Oloroso Sherry dark rum cask The same cask, actually.
That sounds so good.
That from the same Spanish Oloroso cask, then the dark rum that was finished in our batch 1. Same cask.
Nice.
We're very excited to be able to acquire those through Kelvin Cooperage, and they just offered us some more Friday late morning, and we bought another 10 from them. So we've got a total.
Cool.
Yeah, we got a total of 23. So to finish some.
Perfect.
Not
really. Sounds like lots of good things coming.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, thank you.
And happy birthday to Kimber. She says, thanks for the perfect end to my birthday week. Happy birthday.
Oh, very nice.
So there you go. Yeah.
Kimber, that's very unique. That's my wife's name. You don't see that name.
Oh.
Well, there you go. Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah.
Club Kimber here.
There's not a lot of those out there.
No.
Wow. Yeah, we had...
what a delightful evening. I feel like I've just been so spoiled tonight. That
was the River Kelvin Rye. And as Scott put recently, he said, where was it? I've never had a bad 4-gate. Keep up the good work. Yeah. I feel the same.
Well, thanks,
there's 4-gates that for our particular flavor profile rise more to the top than others. But I agree. We've never had anything from 4-gate that we've been like, nah, not for me. Everything.
No, everything has been like, may I have another one?
Yeah, everything has really, really stood up, and that's great to see. And when you said 2019, like I can't believe you guys have only been around since 2019. I thought we finally discovered it in 2020.
Like that we were super late.
Yeah, we're like, oh, this 4-gate thing, I've been hearing about it.
But I think it was because of the quality. It felt like, how did we miss this? How did we miss this? This must have been around for a while, but I think that is a testament to the work that you've done in the 3 years.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Well, thank you very much. Yeah, Bill and I started the company in the summer of 2018. We round up all the money. Then once we found the juice and created the label, we got that first batch out as fast as we could, and that was the first batch was April of 19. So we're pretty excited where the company is and what we have going for us going forward. And we're grateful for people like you that
thanks.
and want to have us on. And thanks for having me on. It's been a great hour on a Sunday evening. I love it.
Well, thanks for joining us, and you keep making it, and we'll keep drinking it.
Yeah, there you go.
Good. I'll do my job, and I'll assist you and help you do your job.
Thank you. I feel like I have the easy end of this deal. I think we got the good end of the deal.
And I promise I'll keep that last bottle of batch 1 I've got on the floor in my other office here for you.
Thanks,
guys.
Bob.
Yeah.
Yes. You're so nice.
We'll gladly take that off your hands for you. Yeah, for sure.
Alrighty.
Okay. Well, this will do it for tonight. The good thing is we still have a few more 4-gate samples to taste on here in the future, so that's good. But yeah, thank you again, Bob, for coming on and sharing some things to come for us and for the audience here. Really do appreciate it, and looking forward to everything that comes out in the future.
And our next pick.
Can't
wait.
Yeah.
Can't wait to pick that.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thanks for having me. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Yeah, cheers. Cheers to you.
Thank you.
All right.
Well, thanks so much, everyone, for watching. We're going to put this up on the screen, and as soon as I find the music, which is over here, we're going to say
next time.
See you next Sunday. Bye-bye.